Well, our servicemen and women put their lives in harm's way all over the world to serve our country and protect our freedoms. But war, of course, takes a toll on many of them, and they return with intense mental health needs. But there is one organization working to help them. Take a listen.
12-year-old boy popped up over a berm with an AK-47. I had no choice.
I would be in my room for days without answering the phone, without coming out the room.
One of the biggest things that military personnel feel when they come home is they don't fit into the civilian world.
Give an Hour is a nonprofit organization trying to meet those needs for free, and they, of course, could use your help. Joining us to talk more about that is Barbara Van Dalen, the founder and president of Give an Hour. She was also named one of magazine's 100 most influential people in the world in 2012. Those are some really, really great accomplishments. And you're also at the White House, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But first, I really want to talk about, and we just mentioned this, is, you know, these service members come home, and I've done stories on them, and everyone is celebrating. But really, the days, weeks coming after that, they're not easy.
Right. And most of the men and women who come home from service, they really are assets in our communities. They go on to lead our neighborhoods, our nation. But for many, it is a struggle to reintegrate. And if we, as a nation, if we don't offer opportunities and support and services when they need them, then they can really suffer and struggle, and their families struggle too.
And it's not easy to ask for help, of course. So is it best to try to look for that help before the family members come home or after? When's the best time?
Well, that's a great question. And one of the things that we do a lot of is raise awareness. Because it may be that you or I notice our loved ones struggling, or you or I may see a family in need. And so we can say, hey, you know, how are you doing? How's it been since you've been back? Get that family engaged, and then they may seek help and take care of the veteran.
And you are raising awareness today
at
the Capitol with the president putting on a lot of mileage today.
Yes, I was.
Tell me about that.
So today the president had a very important gathering at the White House. Really, this is unprecedented for our president to talk about mental health in general. And I was invited to come and be on a panel for that event, which was a huge honor because of my work helping our veterans, our service members, and our military families.
And it's amazing work, and I don't want to exclude it just to New York, because I'm sure there are people in New York who have families other parts of the country, and your services are provided there, right?
Absolutely. And because we've now been at this for about 8 years, we are now expanding, and so we respond when there's a natural disaster. We responded to Superstorm Sandy. We were here then, to the bombings in Boston, to the Oklahoma tornadoes. We have 7,000 providers all over the country who have collectively given 87,000 hours. They're so generous of care to our veterans, their families, and now to other communities when there's a tragedy.
And I'm sure now that people are seeing it, they're going to want to help.
I hope so.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
So tell me, how can people reach out and be volunteers? You don't necessarily have to have a medical degree.
That's correct. You can care about this population. You might be a mental health professional, and if so, we definitely want your help. You might be someone who feels like you can step up and provide all kinds of financial support, assistance, opportunities. We love to partner. We love to collaborate. So anybody who cares, go to giveanhour.org and we will put you to work.
On a more serious subject, though, when you get these people in front of you and in front of the volunteers, how do you get them to open up? This is such a tough subject to talk about, I can imagine.
Well, it's really about trust. I mean, mental health in general, we all have mental health. We all have mental health issues. Sometimes we're doing well, sometimes we're struggling or under stress. And we all know this. If you're with someone you trust, you relax, you let your guard down a little, you share, and just by that act, you begin to heal.
Can you show us or explain to us sort of the difference you see from people who have, you know, taken advantage of your services and what their families are seeing?
Absolutely. I mean, it is just heartwarming. I mean, we've been here for 2 days in New York doing a celebration of service, 2 days of events. Many veterans stepping up and talking one after another about the fact that they stepped forward and got help literally saved their lives.
That's amazing. And I mean, there are people who necessarily are having issues even before they're deployed. I can imagine it's not necessarily when they come home.
That's right, absolutely. And it's stressful being in our military even during peacetime because families move every 2 years. These are often young families who may struggle with, just like we all do, financial issues, family issues. And so having resources in their communities, having these mental health professionals who say, this is the way that I serve our country by supporting you is incredibly valuable.
Well, it's an incredibly invaluable organization that you've put together. Thank you so much for joining us, Barbara. We appreciate it.